So, good evening, people. Namaskar. I am Daksh. I am the founder of Blub World magazine, which basically works on the simple focus of teens inspiring teens. We try to find teenagers who are doing amazing in life and share their struggles and their successes with other teens so that they get inspired to do more inspiring stuff. So, till now, we have covered nearly 300 such teenagers from across different geographies across the globe. And from time to time, we try to create industry white papers, which are basically repositories of learnings on whatever innovative or new or different is going on within the K-12 education sector, that is school education. So just part of that activity is this very web series. Today, you are all attending the 28th session of these talks. In the past 27 sessions, more than 200 school leaders from 60 plus geographies have participated and shared their ideas and innovations that they are doing right now to continue learning during this lockdown for their students, and have kept their parents and the whole school ecosystem that they run engaged and enriched during this continuous time. Just to give you an idea of the kind of ideas that we've been getting till now, there's a very small village in West Bengal in India where there is no internet, but they still had to continue learning. So what they did was they gave a very innovative assignment. They told their students to create a custom dictionary at home in which they have to add 5 new words every day. And once the school reopens, they have to bring that dictionary back to school. There's one school that told students to do a daily news report on their surroundings. That's what's going around you. Tell us that every day. There's one school that has asked its pre-toddlers to sing a song every day to their class teacher on a video call. No studies, just sing a song. There's one school in Nepal, they've started a class called Problem Solving Engineering. They've told their students to go into the kitchen and find problems that their mom faces while cooking or preparing food and give them those problems engineering solutions. And students are doing amazingly great during this time. This is a time to engage. And I think the coin for the education sector, and typically the K-12 sector, has now flipped. Till now, the content and the learning was selected by the teachers and received by the learners. But this time, the ball is in their court and the learner is deciding whether he wants to take what you're giving or not. Because you are on a Zoom call, he can record your video and swap your audio. And there can be a lot of digital pranks that are happening. So today also, in the next 30, 40 minutes, we want to see what all innovative are you doing with your own institutions, and try to share with us your introduction first within your time, then share with us one individual learning that you have got during this lockdown, and third and most important, an idea, an innovation, a small little big change that schools can do or learn from you and experiment in their ecosystems. Today is the International Dance Day as well, declared by the United Nations. So we have 2 amazing guests for you from 2 countries. So we'll listen to them also. And today, the session will be chaired by somebody who has knowledge in the field of sports and super deep knowledge. And his profile has already been shared with all of you. So I won't take a lot of time on explaining who the speaker is. Let's now listen first to Krish. Sir, over to you for the next 3 minutes. You'll have to give the open address. And people, I hope you enjoy the next 30 minutes. If you have any questions, any doubts, don't interrupt the speaker. You can send it over to us over the chat. Okay, so let's start. Over to Krish. Krish, you can unmute yourself.
Sure. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you and exchange our thoughts and views in this moment of crisis that we're all trying to come up with solutions. So quick background about Sportz Village. We have been around for the last 17 years. Our focus is sports, specifically children. Our vision is to see 100 million children in India play at least an hour a day. Today, we work with about 1,300 schools, all the way from Kashmir to Kerala. We manage the physical education and sports program for schools. Our emphasis is on an inclusive program so that all children can play, participate with age-appropriate activities in a fun, engaging manner. That's a quick background about us. So let's come down to the current situation. We all know that children love being outdoors, they love playing, and they are severely limited at this point. But being indoors doesn't necessarily mean that you're not active. And especially in the current situation, where we're all concerned about immunity of ourselves, our families, there's a strong correlation between physical fitness, specifically aerobic capacity, and your immune system. So hence, I'm sure all of you will agree on the need to remain fit. So what we've done is we've created a play-at-home program. The first phase of this was something that we launched on the 31st of March. It's a website. Is it okay if I just share my screen, Daksh? So so this, if all of you can see, is the play-at-home website. This is primarily created for all our partner schools. You can see there are activities which are assigned day-wise with 3 age groups: nursery to 2nd, 3rd to 6th grade, 7th grade and above. And these are not just physical activities. There are some, say if I take the 3rd to 6th grade, there are physical activities on all the days. There are fitness videos, including self-defense videos on certain days. Some instructions on helping parents with some suggestions. PE word of the day, so they understand certain aspects of physical education. It's not just about physical activity, but it's also about being mentally active. So we have brain games and sports quiz. Last but not the least, we also have some suggestions on inspirational videos that children can watch. For example, if some of you watch the movie Invictus, it's not just about a rugby game. It's about how Nelson Mandela inspired an entire country to come together and unify. So these are the different things that we have done in the first phase, primarily again targeted at our schools that we work with. And we realized as we started doing this, there's also a need for some kind of an interaction, because anybody can create a set of videos and put it up. But children also need some level of interaction. They are missing out on the fact that they could play with other children of their class or section. So we started doing some live sessions. We use Zoom extensively, by the way. We also use Google Meet. So we started using our trainers to conduct some of these classes, initially on a 1-to-1, then 1-to-3, 1-to-5, and we quickly expanded it to the entire class and section. So today, 46 of our schools are now on this platform where we're conducting daily classes so that children can remain active. That's the second step. The third step we did was we created something called as a leaderboard. 30 seconds. So we created a leaderboard. This is an activity where there will be points assigned for students as they complete these activities. So it's a sort of a competition of sorts. The more activities you complete, the more points you earn. So this, in summary, is what we've done as a part of the Play-at-Home program. We've received widespread appreciation through media, about 40 plus articles online and offline. So yeah, you can remain at home and still play. So that's our message. Happy to hear any suggestions that we can further improve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Krish, for sharing those thoughts with us. I think a lot of exciting stuff going on at your end to keep kids active. Thank you so much. Now, before I actually start to invite the school leaders one by one, just let's add a different twist to the whole talk. Today we have with us three amazing people from 2 different places who will share something about the International Dance Day with you and what your students or your kids or your parents and even you can do at home during this lockdown, and what are they doing during this lockdown. Let's first hear it from Maggie and Ghislain from Paris. I won't be able to pronounce that right, and I don't want to do injustice to those words. So from Paris, and they'll give their introduction and a small talk. Over to Maggie and Ghislain for the next 3 minutes. Over to you. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. So to introduce my colleague, Ghislain de Comprignac, he's French. Myself, Maggie Bogart, I'm from the Netherlands, Amsterdam. And we have founded in 2012 a school in Paris, in the heart of Paris. And Ghislain has a background as a principal dancer in classical ballet, myself in contemporary dance. So we combine those two techniques. And also what we very much like is combinations of classical ballet and contemporary dance. Also the fact that I'm not French and he's French, so we're open to the world. Our teaching is bilingual. And in short, we teach, so bilingual English and French, because there's many languages. And we start teaching children age 3.5 until any age, 100. And we also have international workshops every year, about 8, where people come from all over the world. And we also have a professional training program where we specifically train young people who enter on audition from 8 to 21. And we prepare them to enter professional dance companies. So this is a big joy. Now, and so we were watching, my husband and me, we were watching on March 15 or 16, we were watching the speech of President Macron, the president of France, announcing the lockdown. And we instantly felt in our bodies what our students would be feeling not to be able to dance. And we thought something must happen. And we instantly put together, first on Skype, teaching first for our students in the professional program with Ghislain and me. The first class, they were crying. They were crying. They were so happy. They were like, oh, yeah, like to be together again. And they were talking and crying. And it was so nice. And then we had to figure out, some people take a chair as the bar, or I don't know, someone has like something to put laundry on and holding that, or a door. And we put all the tables and the chairs away to make space for us. And this way we could communicate. And quickly after, we started doing on Zoom, also for the amateurs, now even for the young ones, age 4. And this is wonderful. They have so much joy, and we are amazed how this internet is helping people to get out of their prison. So we completely agree with your phrase, no lockdown on learning. Yeah, if I recall Nelson Mandela, he was learning so much. He was enriching himself in his prison. This is so important. So a day when you're not learning, you're not growing, you're not living. So we keep learning, we keep teaching. Dancing amid lockdown, very important. You can have a small space, but still you can move within the space. We also give challenging assignments to the students, asking them to do research, and then we work on that the next day. Breaking monotony with dance. Working with dance, you automatically challenge yourself. You do new things. So this is very exciting. Incredible ideas for children. We're like watching a movie, a dance movie, talking about it together, dancing together. So it's very important. We're very glad we can do this.
Thank you so much for sharing the experience that you had, and what are you doing right now with your students. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. So this was a perspective on a French dance that even you can do at your homes. To find more, you can search Maggie online, and we'll send some more links to you so that you can search their work and even use some of it within your institutions as well.
Yeah, and our summer workshop is now completely online. During July, anyone can come from the whole world and dance with us.
Amazing. So yeah, people are doing amazing stuff to engage now, and the world is now literally one small village. We are all super connected now. So
very good.
Now to add a different perspective, Indian classical dance is something that we all appreciate. And we have appreciated it from generations, but it's just not Indians who are appreciating it. It's people from across the globe. So let's now hear it from Katya, Tosheva. For the next 3 minutes, Katya, over to you. A small introduction of yourself and then your talk.
Namaste, namaste. Thank you so much for having me in this really interesting conversation for me. In this lockdown, we need to entertain ourselves, and we need to conquer new worlds. So this conversation is exactly such thing for me. So I'm very happy. My experience with the lockdown in the first week, I was a bit down. My mood was not good. I was wondering how I will earn my money. You know, I don't have performances, I don't have classes. But after 5 days, I was missing dancing a lot. So I started to communicate with my students and with other dancers, and we started practicing together. I'm so happy that we have internet and we have this opportunity to be again with our friends and our students and also with our teachers. So I made the program of the school. Actually, this is the best program, the program which I have always dreamed of. The schedule of all lessons, I put it online, and my students came to this group, and we started every day practicing again. So now I'm very happy. I'm moving. I don't feel any burden on myself because of this situation, and I enjoy helping others also to gain some benefits from this situation. So what I can offer, what I can suggest to the people, not only for the kids, but for the parents and everybody. First, even if we don't have enough space, we always, especially in the context of Indian classical dance, we can always dance. Because first thing which we use in the dance are our eyes. And what is happening with the kids now? They should look at the screen because they learn from their teachers through the screen now. So their eyes are very tired and they need to move them. So first thing is move the eyes. For example, think of your favorite music, your favorite song, and create a pattern with your eyes following the rhythm of the song. The second idea is, of course, the mudras. Usually we are with our phone in our hands, right? Or we are holding the mouse of the computer and we are writing. So our hands are also tired. We need to make them move in some not so usual way. So learn Asamyuta Hasta and create a story using your hands. For example, tell your parents how much you love them, or your kids how much you love them. Third thing is use your facial expressions. Again, to tell a story. If you have more space, you can tell a larger story using your whole body, and this will help you to express and learn about your body. For example, express the feeling of spring through dance, or not spring. Let's express the morning in your family now. Make a joke with your brother or your sister, what he's or she's doing every morning, how he's looking in the morning with the hair and all the strange movements of the half sleeping body. And the last one, make a dance which has to have 5 movements of the head, 5 movements of the arms, 5 movements of the legs, 5 kicks, 5 touching on the ground with hand, 5 jumps, 5 spins, or whatever you want. Challenge your friends. Make a video of your dance. Challenge everybody. Post it on Facebook, post it on Instagram. Let's move. That is my that is my ideas.
Thank you so much, Katya. Just to introduce Katya better, she is an expert in Indian classical dance and she lives in Bulgaria. So thank you so much, Katya, for sharing a lot of small little activities that we can do at home. And there's one very little innovative idea that one school is doing somewhere in Gujarat in India. They are doing 40-minute classes, and after 40 minutes, they're doing a 5-minute active break in which the teacher tells the students to get up from their seat, either dance, jump, or do something active, and then take a break for 10 minutes and then come back for the next 40-minute class. So after 40 minutes, a 15-minute break with a 5-minute activity session. So now let's again go back to education. Thank you so much, Katya, Maggie, all of you for being here. Continue on the call. At the end, we'll again take your thoughts if possible. So since it was International Dance Day today, so we had them to talk about dance to you so that you can even use some of these activities within your schools. Now let's hear it from educationists that what are you doing within your schools to continue learning? Let's first hear it from Ali Rizvi sir. Ali sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute yourself first.
A very good evening to all the participants. Really wonderful experience and a nice thing. So let me quickly share about the things that we are doing in the school. I am the principal of the International School Agra, and this school is a CBSE board school. Luckily, before this lockdown, we completed our examination for all classes and we distributed the results. So I'm lucky that I have completed my previous academic year properly. The next academic year was supposed to begin, and then there were no books after the lockdown. So first thing what I did, I have taken all the new books and then sent the photographs in PDF file to all the students class-wise. I'm conducting the online classes, and recently we had Earth Day assembly through the online system. Children were in the uniform. They had regular school assembly. There were speeches, there were plays, there were poster making. So they have done almost everything what they used to do in the school. And today we have completed solo singing competition, and where every child was given time for 90 seconds to sing a song. And there were a music expert. The judges were online. And now by evening, they are going to send me the results, and children will be receiving the online certificates as well. So this was done, and then we have through online what we do, we send the notes, we send the books first, then we have the classes so that it is easy for children to understand. We have the reading program where the children, they come on the camera, they are reading. Small children, even kindergarten and nursery, they have made their group and they come early in the morning, they get up. Because what I'm telling to my students and my teachers, see, this lockdown, one important thing is that every morning you get up, and I'm telling my children that you go take a shower, get ready, comb your hairs so that you feel good. Generally what happens, people are thinking it's a lockdown time, you should get up at 10 o'clock and, so it's not good for, for your health. So my suggestion to everybody is that let us follow the same schedule that we have in our daily daily normal life. And another thing is that learning definitely should not stop. We have only the platform has changed. And good thing is now the parents are also seeing the teachers, how much hard work teachers are doing, how much it takes to explain certain concepts to the student, how to, handle the queries. So the parents are really happy, and the cooperation from the parents is really good. So I should, on behalf of all the teachers and principal, I should thank all the principals, the parents, because they have done a good work. They're supporting the schools. And we have started doing small experiments also. It's a live demo session We're not gone into the big experiments which we keep on doing there. So that's how the things are working. And definitely, as the previous worker said, the net has given us a good opportunity. Now we are using the net constructively. And my last statement is that this lockdown, this adverse time is going to tell everybody that yes, we are here to use internet positively in a very meaningful way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Arun sir, for sharing. I think your online singing competition is something interesting to know. So once your results are out, and please try to share some observations that you might have got while doing this activity, so that it can be shared with other schools. Thank you so much. From Ashutosh sir, I think.
Thanks, Daksh, for giving this opportunity, and congratulations to you for doing this great work. And I really thank both the guests today for some amazing inputs on this International Dance Day. You know, it was really, really good to have that. For my side, because everybody and last 28 sessions you've been doing, and you've also posted in the YouTube. I did follow that, and it's amazing task that has been done, and all teachers, everybody, every teacher is having one innovative thing which you can share, and it's good to learn from all, including today's sports village introduction. From my side, I'll simply say I believe in very strongly on the Sanskrit shlok which says Acharyam Padamadatte Padam Shishya Swamedhaya Padam Sah Brahmacharibhya Padam Kal Kramenacha. That Acharya gives only a quarter of the knowledge. The second quarter comes Swamedhaya, by Swayam ki medha se, self, knowledge and your own power to learn. A third quarter comes from Sah Brahmacharibhya, from the peers. Acharyam Padamadatte Padam Swamedhaya Padam Sah Brahmacharibhya Padam Kal Kramenacha. The last quarter of learning will come only with the passage of time. And if something like this happens, COVID, your learning pace just increases. And the way the teachers have shifted from an offline mode to an online mode, it's amazingly amazing. I think one of the ideas which we are doing, and if it is useful for other teachers around, I can share that we are having, the biggest trouble with the school teachers was, hey, all parents don't come give time on PTM, right? And my counselors used to say, I've got like 3 counselors, 2 special educators. They used to say, hey, we don't get one-on-one time with the parents. And this is a great time when that is happening. So we are just utilizing that, and I hope everybody remains safe and everybody, does a great job in learning. Thank you so much, Daksh, for giving time. And I'm really, really, really sorry. I think I'll follow the YouTube and learn from others. I will rush. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh sir, for sharing those thoughts.
I
think please try to share with us that Sanskrit shloka will, share its expoundations with a lot more people. Something really amazing to know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's now hear it from Aruna, ma'am. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Daksh. I am Aruna Suresh from Jaipur, principal of SR Global School, and it is now a part of Central Academy. As we all know, for the school community, the closing of the school and the concerns around the pandemic were very much unsettling and frightening also. Examination pending, evaluation pending, results not declared, and suddenly all resources were locked inside the school, and the whole team is sitting at home with the question, what next? So our approach is to handle it, act very calmly, compassionately, as well as decisively. So teaching students during this lockdown was the very significant challenge which we faced. Why? Because the teachers, not every single teacher has a mobile, updated version of a mobile or a laptop. Not every single teacher was very much, easy to handle troubleshooting difficulties. And not everyone was having a very good home environment. But in spite of all these edges, our teachers jumped into this immediately with the help of their immediate leaders and also the management. What we did is, I have a SLT team that is a senior leader team. I normally guide them, train them, and they guide the subject teachers, and in turn subject teachers guide the lower level teachers. This way the training took 2 days to completely tell them how to mute the children while the teaching is going on, how to not allowing the children to annotate on the screen, because in the beginning of the days when the online classes were going on, these were the major concerns, because students were better in technology rather than the teachers. So they used to scribble on the board, they used to paint on the board, they used to, share some other screens on the board. So first we had to address all these concerns and give a training to the teachers first, and then we had to carry on with our online classes. And if I want to tell you about one innovation which we did is, other than competition conducting and all those activities, once a week we are sending a value card, a value task to the child, like go and hug your parents and say I love you. So, and then click a picture and share it with us. Another task which we gave was, go to them and thank people, thank the parents, and all these things were, these were the innovation which we are doing, and we are doing much more, but due to less time, I would love to close it right now. And that's all from my desk. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aruna ma'am. I think every educationist, every school, everybody had a utopian dream that there'll be a time when we'll be able to teach value education within schools. And it was never actually done, or typically it is very difficult to do, because value education needs a different atmosphere. And this lockdown has given us that perfect atmosphere. So I think value education should be promoted during this time, because it can be done and it will actually give the right results, because the kid is in the right ecosystem for this. So let's now hear it from NEERU ma'am. NEERU ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
I'm Dr. NEERU JOSHI, Principal, BBPS, MODINAGAR, Ghaziabad, right? And down is actually lockdown. It is only the lockdown. So it is the biggest learning opportunity for all of us. Learning opportunity for all of us. So we do have so many things that we are doing in the school, as other principals also stated, that we do have groups subject-wise and class-wise, and co-curricular activities are running at parallel, because it is also very important, this sharpening of skills. Because all the time academics, you just see, because students, they are actually emotionally very weak people, because it is the COVID-19 threat from all the corners. So it is that we have, because they are in the war. So we have to understand the cognitive skill, what they are actually thinking these days. So we have to become supportive to them, right? So the learning while different activities, poem recitation, shloka uchcharan, poster making, and on the Earth Day, wonderful activity we conducted, that revival of Mother Earth, because now we are hearing sound of birds in the evening very clearly. It is pollution-free environment. You can see buildings which were not visible to us earlier. So how children, they need to down what they are observing, what they are feeling, so that they learn from this lockdown as well. They not made phobia for the entire life. Rather, they have the learning outcomes with the help of principal. Like, I conduct meeting once in a week with my teachers, even with the parents of the school. My YouTube are there, and link is shared with the parents of the school as what the principal would like to convey to them. They are free to come in after that if they want to ask anything from me. And teachers used to give a call to parents that are not satisfied, they want any follow to be done from our side. So this is how we are doing small videos of 8 or 10 minutes. You know that we do have the connectivity, poor connectivity, network connectivity in the area. So all the time when the Google Classroom or Zoom app, the teaching going on, we face problem. So I asked my teachers, we do have our own YouTube channel. Teachers, they do their individual channels, and recorded videos are put into group. student view the videos, also the queries, and the PDF related to that is also given to student. And 1 or 2 subjects in a day maximum, no the mind, no that is no the eyesight weak problem as stated by some of parents. So the various issues are also connected with this. So we need to make them active in singing, dancing. That is.
Thank you so much, NEERU ma'am. We had to mute you. The time was over. We'll try to give you some more time if possible. Thank you so much. Let's now hear it from Rajesh Ranjanji. Rajeshji, over to you for the next 2 minutes. Try to share with us your introduction, one personal learning and one innovation that you're doing right now in your school. Rajesh, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I'm Rajesh Ranjan, principal of Chinmaya International School, Sitamarhi, Bihar. It's a remote part of Bihar, just adjacent to Nepal. We have a very orthodox system of learning here. It's very challenging to run a school like this here. So first of all, I want to remind everybody that the teacher and the subject, everything, but I'm not so worried about this. I think that the education of a child, that is the duty that is shared by, that is pillared by the teachers and the parents and the society. Obviously, the schools are locked down, the learning is not locked down. We are going on online things. But the greatest thing the students are getting nowadays is they are getting family time. Is the quality time they are getting. Nowadays, they are having their parents stress-free with peaceful mind. And for this, at the start of the lockdown, I had a meeting with the parents first. I just make them aware that this is a high time when you have to be with your children. You have to create an environment in the house so that they must not be panicked about the pandemic and everything is there. So this is first thing I told, and then I told them how to use the Zoom meeting classes and everything so that they can help their children. As we all are saying that it's we face the poor internet connection. So iske liye we have gone for one suggestion to the students. First of all, I suggested my teachers to not to go for those regular assignment, etc. Go for creative assignments. We have told the students to perform the activities related to their subjects which they can perform in their home and shoot it and post it to the admin of the WhatsApp group. They are also told to go for dance things because of lack of resources here. We are not having the proper dance teacher in our school, proper music teacher in our school. So I have told them to go for themselves. They can perform in their house, they can shoot it and they can post it, dancing activities, music activities, mono acting and everything. And what we do, that we repost on our group, we even post it to the YouTube and we encourage them to do this. For online classes, okay, thank you, sir. For online classes, we have given suggestion to the teachers to.
There's one very nice approach that's working very well for different schools is flip learning, where the teacher can create a 40 to 50 second lesson teaser, like a movie trailer. Try to excite the kid about that lesson and let him go back home, learn about it and come back on such a Zoom call and let him teach the teacher. So this is something that is working very well for a lot of schools. You can also try that in your school. Thank you so much, Rajesh, sir, for sharing your experience. Let's now hear it from Uma Shankar Singh ji. Uma Shankar ji, over to you for the next 2 minutes. And before Uma says, you can use English or Hindi, whichever language is comfortable to you.
Okay, fine.
Please.
Namaste and good evening. All learned educators, this is Uma Shankar Singh, Principal, Patna Central School. Acharya Sri Sudarshan Patna Central School, Patna, Bihar. I'm indeed lucky to have such a wonderful team of all educators. All that I'm doing in my school, that I have made it compulsory for every student to watch spiritual discourses, to witness Astha channel, Sub channel, GTV Bihar in the morning. And then they have to come back with their impressions in the first period. wherein the subject teachers who go to the class in the first period ask the students as to what they have learned. It's a part of moral education that we are going to, in fact, impart to the children. This is one, and as I feel that this is a great time for us to unlock the potential, or I would say that, just hit at the multiple intelligence, especially intrapersonal intelligence. This is the time when we can see how children are going to understand themselves, how they are going to, in fact, just promote their higher order thinking skills like critical skills, creative skills, analytical skills. This is very important. And apart from that, this lockdown is a boon in disguise in a way wherein children are also, in fact, going to develop adaptive skills. They are going to cope with the new situations, emergency skills, you may call it in a way. This is very important. But altogether, it is high time for us to focus value case. We need just that infuse or encourage a deep sense, especially in moral learning. This is very important for which, and that's what the well-noted and noted writer, speaker, thinker is also, in fact, giving a speech or delivering a speech every day on Sub TV and that, GTV Bihar. So we have made it compulsory for the children, and the teachers are also, in fact, going to, in fact, encourage the children, and just apart from that, we are also, in fact, going to post some of the creative, in fact, pursue the creative tasks that the children are doing. We are going to post it on YouTube also. So this way, children are really, in fact, going to become very, well engrossed in learning. Apart from that, the biggest, in fact, benefit which I have realized that all our teachers who were not, in fact, quite comfortable in using a smartphone, using Zoom technology, they have become technically proficient. This is very important. It was indeed hard for us to, in fact,
experience. Let's now hear it from P.S. Chauhan, sir. Sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, Chauhan, Principal IPS College of Technology and Management, Gwalior. I have 23 years teaching experience in the higher industries as well as manufacturing unit. Really, I think that I am odd man because it is a meeting of the school principals, and I am that is in handling the higher industries, that higher education industry. But still, I try my level best. I have done several things, 1 and 2 things I will try to put up in front of the panel. I am grateful to Mr. Daksh as well as all the Blub team for giving me opportunities to interact with a respectable audience. In the present scenario, as we all know, buildings are locked down, but not learning. Entire world is trying to implement new methodologies of learning. There are several platforms to implement digital teaching effectively, such as TCS Ion, Classroom, Zoom, Microsoft Under Office, Cisco WebEx, Google Meet. We are taking classes on Zoom and TCS Classroom. We have effectively implemented, and we are thankful to our staff members. They have executed it very effectively in very short span of time. The best part of digital education is the students from remote area or from metros get equal opportunities of learning. Remarkable thing is that everyone is trying to adopt new technologies of learning. They shifted to virtual classes, which made the students more independent and responsible. During last 2-3 decades, the students' focus is on mugging up books without considering human values and practical implementation of knowledge. The students are reactive rather than responsive. Human values can be taught to the students with family members, by example. That may be the unique feature of this lockdown. We have included one class of human values students can enjoy with their family. I am thankful to staff members as well as the platform providers like TCS, then Microsoft, Google, they are provided the platform free of cost for the school and college students. Learning something which is not stuck only in the bookish education, it may fall to mental learning, spiritual learning. It may be the physical learning, subjective and life skill learning. It may be the social learning, which includes the mopping.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us. Now let's hear it from Dr. Shalini Bindra. Shalini ji, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daksh. I think it's a very good platform, and it's a pleasure to hear all the educationists who have come from various parts of India and abroad. Really thankful to you for bringing us together. I think during these challenging times, I am elated to share that although the school is closed down, but the learning has not stopped, as we've heard all the other educationists also. In fact, I would say learning has transcended all the boundaries and moved much ahead of times. If we look at 2 months back, we never thought that such a day is going to come in our lives, that children are all sitting home and still studying and trying to explore new things. Very quickly, I would like to share, in addition to whatever initiatives the others have taken, the initiatives that my school has taken. We initially started with the Zoom classes, but very quickly we switched on to Microsoft Teams, which is a much wider platform, giving more features than Zoom. And I must tell you that one of the panelists also said that following a routine is so important. So our school also believes in the same thing, and we gave a routine to the students, a follow-up of a schedule to be followed. And students are expected to follow this daily schedule every day. And this online school begins at 9 o'clock in the morning with 5 minutes prayer time in every class. So which I feel is very important to settle them down. Other than that, we also have the online classes. You were talking about flip teaching. We are using it in our school very, very successfully, and children are doing very well. Once the ownership lies on them to do teaching in the class, I think they are more attentive towards that. Other than this, we also have the online quizzes and the Socratic discussions in the class, to hone their creative thinking skills and creative expressions. In addition to this, we also have online life skill classes in the afternoon, which includes the performing arts, the visual arts, and the sports to keep them fit, to keep them mentally balanced and healthy. In this, we also expect the family members to join in. So children are all singing together and dancing together, which brings the entire family closer to the school. So this is one good initiative that we've taken up. Also, we've shared online resources, number of online books with our students, and everyday online newspaper is shared with our students, which teacher discusses in the class. So children know what is happening around the world. Nowadays, as you all know, newspapers are not coming, the hard copies, everyone has stopped. So this online newspaper is really helping out the students to remain in touch with what's happening around the world. If you ask me about any personal learning that has come across to me, I feel the biggest learning which everyone has embraced is the change is the only way of life. And I'm glad that everyone has embraced it so well. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Shalini ma'am, for sharing your perspective with us. So before I conclude the talk, I just want to leave you with 2 thoughts and 2 ideas. That's typically food for thought that you can think on. And when we meet next, it'll be an opportunity to talk about much more and better ideas from all of you. I would have given Krish sir 1 more minute to conclude, but I think the time is already over, so we won't be able to do that. But before we conclude, just 2 ideas. First, we are all right now using a lot of edtech products and a lot of education technology, and typically a lot of tech. And most of these education technology products or companies or platforms, they are not solving education problems. They are solving communication problems. So remember, as an educationist, just giving an edtech platform to your student is not the final solution. You'll have to think much more on the curriculum and the content, because now once you make technology available to the student, you open the world to him. And once you open the world to him, first, the monitoring changes completely. So, and second, and most important, we are all right now in a corona or a lockdown world. And we all pray and hope that in the nearest of time, we'll all be in a post-corona world. And once we are in that world, the kind of student that we had and the kind of teacher that we had, we won't have them anymore in the class. Their attitude and their characteristics will drastically change. And once they change, the skill sets required in them and the skill sets that you require to teach them will change. So what will be those skills? What will the future student need to be employable, to be good enough, to be a good citizen, to be a responsible citizen? Think on those lines, because now content delivery or just delivering information is no more a big skill for a teacher, because technology can do that very easily. A teacher now will have to be a very big observer. He will now have to be somebody who can understand the needs of the student. And two skills that we think the future student will need, and we must find ways to teach them because they are super difficult to teach. The first one being creativity. Creativity not in the sense of colors and paintings and dance and drama, creativity in the sense of divergent thinking. Actually making them understand that how do you think even in bad scenarios, teaching to think, how to find solutions. And second and most important, which has now become super critical, since you are giving them the internet and the technology, you will have to teach them wisdom, because you cannot police them everywhere. They must know what's good for them and what's bad for them. And teaching these two things is not an easy job. So let's find out ways that how we do it. And we are doing a very small competition where we are trying to find out the most creative school in the whole ecosystem. So if you, your students, your parents, your teachers are doing anything creative, share that with us. We share it with much more and many more schools, so that that small little idea can make a great big change. So I hope you enjoyed the last 40-50 minutes. And if you enjoyed and want to attend future sessions, you can open your audio and say a big yes. And thank you so much for taking out the time.
Thank you, Daksh. A pleasure to
Yes.
with all
Thank
of you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Indeed,
Wonderful.
really